Get this. What if I told you there's a chemical out there that was first used to dye your blue jeans, but is also on the World Health Organization's list of essential medicines, and that same chemical was given to soldiers in World War II to fight off malaria? It sounds completely made up, right? But it's absolutely true. So let's dive into the amazing, surprising science of a molecule that's been hiding in plain sight for over 15 years, methylene blue.
And here it is, the central puzzle, right from the get-go. On one hand, you've got its humble beginnings as a simple industrial dye. On the other, its status today as a critical, life-saving medicine. It's like this substance has a complete identity crisis. And honestly, that's what makes its story so cool. The big question is, how in the world did it make that leap?
To really understand its power, we have to go back in time. So let's trace the pretty wild and, well, colorful history of how this simple blue dye became a medical powerhouse.
I mean, the journey this stuff has been on is just incredible. It starts in 1876, literally just coloring clothes. But then, just 15 years later, in 1891, boom, it's being used as one of the very first synthetic drugs against malaria. Fast forward to the 1940s, and it's standard issue for Allied soldiers. And then, it takes this bizarre little detour in the 50s. You could find it in pet stores for treating fish in aquariums. And all of that somehow brings us to today, where it's earned its spot on that essential medicines list.
And this little detail just shows you how common it was. During World War II, soldiers would actually joke about being so patriotic that they even peed blue. It's a memorable and kind of funny piece of its history. And as you'll see in a bit, it's still its most famous side effect.
So this raises a massive question, right? How can one single chemical do all of this? Fight malaria, treat fish, and be an essential medicine? Well, the answer isn't on the surface, it's deep inside our bodies, all the way down at the cellular level.
Okay, so we've seen what it can do, which is already pretty impressive. But now it's time for the really cool part, the how. How does methylene blue actually pull off its magic inside of us? To understand methylene blue, you first have to meet the star of the show, the mitochondria. You probably remember these from biology class as the power plants of our cells. And that's exactly what they are. Their whole job is to take the food we eat and convert it into a molecule called ATP. Just think of ATP as the universal energy currency for your body. It fuels literally everything, from your brain thinking to your muscles moving.
So what happens when those power plants start to fail? Well, think of methylene blue as a set of jumper cables for your cells. Normally, as you see in step 1, your mitochondria have this elegant system, an electron transport chain, to make energy. But then, step 2, stress, getting older, getting sick, can damage parts of that chain, and your energy production just sputters. That's when methylene blue jumps in. As you can see in step 3, it creates a bypass, skipping right over the broken parts. And then, step 4, it donates its own electrons further down the line, basically jump-starting the whole system and getting that energy production flowing again. It's pretty incredible.
But here's where it gets even cooler. Methylene blue is what you'd call hormetic, which means the dose completely flips its function. At a really low dose, it acts like an antioxidant, kind of like a shield protecting your cells from damage. But if you crank that dose way up, it does the exact opposite. It becomes a pro-oxidant, creating targeted stress that's perfect for killing invaders like bacteria. It's a perfect example of how the dose makes the poison, or in this case, the medicine.
All right, now that we've got a handle on the science, let's talk about what this all means for medicine right now. How is this 150-year-old dye being used as a legit modern medical toolkit?
I mean, just look at this list. The range of what's being researched today is just stunning. We're talking about everything from protecting the brain and improving brain health, to helping people recover from long COVID, to breaking up stubborn bacterial infections, and even looking at it for things like POTS and UTIs. It's a seriously versatile little molecule.
So why is it so promising for the brain specifically? Well, it has this key feature. It's lipophilic. That's just a fancy science word that means it's fat-soluble, or it likes fat. And because of that, it can slip right through the super-protective blood-brain barrier and get to work directly inside our brain cells' mitochondria, which, by the way, are some of the most energy-hungry cells in our entire body.
And let's focus on a very real, very current problem, long COVID. A major analysis found that in the first couple years of the pandemic, over 6% of people who got COVID ended up with long-haul symptoms. We're talking millions and millions of people suffering from that crushing fatigue and brain fog, which many scientists now think is tied directly to their mitochondria not working right.
And this is where it all clicks into place. Remember that jumper cable effect we just talked about? By boosting energy production in those struggling cells, Methylene Blue can potentially help fix the root cause of that deep, profound fatigue and brain fog that so many people with long COVID are dealing with. It's literally about getting the power back on.
Now, the potential here is obviously super exciting. But, and this is a big but, with any substance this powerful, you have to be responsible. So, let's go over the absolutely critical stuff you need to know about safety.
Okay, this is probably the single most important thing to understand. Not all methylene blue is created equal. Not even close. The industrial-grade stuff you might buy for a fish tank can have up to 11% heavy metals in it. I'm talking about things like mercury and arsenic. It is absolutely crucial that for any human use, only pure pharmaceutical-grade methylene blue is ever considered.
There are also a few other really important safety checks. It should not be used if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. It's also vital to test for a specific genetic condition called G6PD deficiency because it can cause a risk of anemia. And you have to be very careful if someone's taking a certain class of antidepressants called MAOIs because of a risk of a very serious condition called Serotonin Syndrome.
But for most people, what's the most common side effect? Well, it's the same thing those soldiers were joking about back in World War II. It's totally harmless, but yeah, it will definitely turn your urine a very, very distinct shade of blue. It's a surprising but pretty reliable sign that it's in your system.
So when you put it all together, the journey is just wild. From blue genes to battlefields to the power plants inside our own brain cells. It really leaves us with a huge, fascinating question. Could this 150-year-old dye really hold some of the keys to solving our biggest modern health problems? You know, based on the science, that's a question we're going to be hearing a lot more about.
If you're interested in exploring more of these incredible connections from hormone optimization to metabolic psychiatry and regenerative medicine, be sure to subscribe and follow for more explainers just like this one. Thanks so much for watching this Within You Health production.